Hey guys, it is Amy with Crafts by Amy, and we are in an event today. My event. I didn't clean up my desk from last night when I was in an event, so I didn't pick up a ton of stuff. So I've got stuff all over my desk that I need to pick up. So I'm also waiting for my page to load so that I can share myself into our group. Y'all know it takes a few seconds after you've gone live sometimes. So if you're catching me right now, you're probably watching the replay because I haven't shared to the group yet. But I am actually on for 2 hours in the event today. So I'm in the group now. We are in Crafty Friends Unite, which is my group. And our theme today is the sound of music. And I told everybody they can do whatever they want with the theme. A few people have done the sound of music, as in the musical, which I love that movie. Julie Andrews is like a queen. A couple of people have just done music things, which I told them, I was like, it's whatever you want to do with the theme. I try not to tell anybody what to do with my themes. I make them kind of generic, but if they ask me for something, I will help them because we have an event coming up next week that is titled Go Take a Hike. And people were very confused. And I was like, it's just outdoors. I did not know what to name it. So that's what I came up with. So I need room on my desk. So I'm trying to clear some things off. So moving my case that y'all have seen a number of times that I use for journaling. I make that behind my chair because I need my desk for my craft today. And I'm moving my laptop too. So I saw this at my Hobby Lobby and I was like, yep, Sound of Music. So it is a guitar. I'm sure y'all can't see the whole thing because it's not zoomed out enough, but it does hang up. You can either hang it like this, which I guess I have it upside down. It's supposed to go this way, or you can just hang it up with this and have it hanging straight up and down. Yeah. So we're gonna fool with this. I think we're going to stain this, the whole guitar. Then I might try to do lines or something on here. And I need to find my stencil. I want to do, so I'm not doing the Sound of Music. I am doing John Denver. I have a stencil that says, Take Me Home, Country Roads. And I think it's on the other side of my desk. So I am gonna go grab that because I didn't get it earlier. And I know it's over here because I had it out for another live a few weeks ago. Really, it wasn't a few weeks. It was more like a few months. It seems like a few weeks, but it wasn't. Oh, I don't like that. Okay, I'm not going to use that one. I have another one I could use, and it's behind my table. It's probably too small, though, so I don't know what we're going to do. I might end up getting out the Cricut and cutting out some words with the Cricut, because I do have 2 hours. This is not going to take me 2 hours. And if it does, shame on me. So I'm going to sit down, and before I do this, I am going to look for that stencil that I have. So I have a big one that says Take Me Home Country Roads, and it's got a Jeep on it. But it was too big for this, and I didn't like the way it was written. It was spaced out too much. So we are going to look in here instead. These are all my cut apart stencils. And I decided to label all of them with my label maker because that's how I roll now. So this is the other one I have. It's a farm truck and it just says Country Roads Take Me Home. I wonder if the truck would fit on there. I started labeling these so I know which pocket to put these back in. Not that it would really matter, but I also like knowing what the name of the stencils were. So I'm going to take the stencil out. If I don't use it, I will put it back in. Well, even if I do use it, I will put it back in my binder. Hey, Miss Terry. Miss Terry was just on before me from Terry's Angels Crafting. And I'm on for 2 hours because apparently nobody wanted to fill in the middle of the day, which is totally cool. I don't mind being on for 2 hours. And then Miss Lillie will be on after me at, let's see, 6 o'clock Eastern. So we might actually do this at the bottom. We might be able to do this at the bottom. So these are rails. I'm not sure which direction they go on the truck, but we may or may not use that. I'm not really sure. And then the words country roads take me home. So I actually like this a lot more than the other one. I do need to go get some pastes to use on this, but we're gonna focus on getting this stained before I do anything else. So I am just using some baby wipes, and this is a gel stain called Walnut from Americana. I got it from Hobby Lobby a few years ago, but since Hobby Lobby has started with their own collection of paints and stuff, they now have this in their own version. So I'm not sure how this is going to work, but we're going to roll with it. And I have all the colors. I think I have 2 of the walnut, and that's why I use that the most. Well, okay. Like it doesn't. Okay, I'm going to end up with stained hands in a minute. I can already see that coming. I'm not liking this right now. Hey, Miss Ann. I think what I'm going to do is paint this one and then rub it off. So I am just going to grab a paintbrush and then we will use that and rub it off with the baby wipe because it is not working for me with just the baby wipe. And I did find my chalk teak, so I could have used that. The wax from, yeah. Y'all know words don't come out when you're trying to figure out something live. Howard's. The word Howard's. I could have used the wax from Howard's. But this one was sitting on my desk, so I thought, let's just use what's on the desk. I might do the fretboard with a different color. I'm not really sure. I might paint this like black. I actually have a guitar. It is downstairs. I've been letting Emmy play with it this summer. She likes music, so I let her play with it. She now says it's her guitar. It was my guitar from when I was her age, or just about her age, because I took guitar lessons when I was in 3rd grade, I think. 2nd and 3rd grade. I think it was, yeah, 2nd and 3rd grade, and Emmy's out of 2nd grade. She's about to be in 3rd grade in a week and a half, I think. Or maybe just a week, I don't know. I don't know when her school starts, but it's relatively soon. So I had lunch with her. I have to go back and watch a lot of Tanya's live and a lot of out some with the paintbrush. Yes, my table still squeaks. I don't know if y'all can hear it. I can hear it and it annoys me. So I can't imagine how y'all feel when you hear it. You can also do this with, oh, thank you, Miss Terry. This was from Hobby Lobby. It's part of the spring collection. And if your store has any in their stock now, they're 75% off, I think, now. Because they are really pushing to get rid of all of their spring and summer stuff because they're all in on fall and Christmas. They've been in on fall for a few weeks now, and they've been slowly putting their Christmas stuff out in the stores, so. I was gonna use I have Voodoo from Dixie Belle I could have used, but I can't exactly get to it right now easily. I still haven't put all my stuff back that the air condition people, well, not the air condition, the insulation people moved and caused me to have a mental breakdown, basically. So we did this part. I'm trying to decide if I want to do the fretboard with this or paint it. I'm leaning towards painting it, but I don't want to paint the the tuners. I'm going to turn it around because I think what I want to do, I think I want to stain this part, but I think I want to do this in black. Yeah, because a lot of the times the stuff in the store they'll have and they don't have it on mine, because been there, done that. So I'm going to spread this stain around up here, but I'm only doing it on this part of the guitar piece. I'm not doing the tuning pieces, and I'm not doing the fretboard. I'm just doing this because I am going to come back with black and do the fretboard. It's not going to look perfect because I don't have that much talent to make the fretboard look perfect. Plus, I don't think this is long enough to actually be a normal size fretboard. So there's that. I mean, if I get a little bit of the stain on the tuners, it's not the end of the world. But I'm planning on painting them with either a silver color or white color, because that's what color they generally are. And I got to eat lunch today with Emmy and my sister and my mom. That's why I missed some of the lives. Okay, so I did get it on the base part of the, but that's not the end of the world. So let me grab black. I do have my black. And of course, I don't think I have my thing for my water in here. Let me see what I can use instead. See what is in here that I can use. Nope, I don't have anything in there. I am just going to use one of my cups that I have for resin, because I have a ton of them. And they're the throwaway cups. Hey, Miss Bonnie. They're just throwaway cups. I don't want the stain or the paint stain in my brushes, so I'll just use one of these. I need to see. I probably have music notes that I could have done for with resin to put on here. So this is the black one from Hobby Lobby. It's Crafters Collection. It's just acrylic, but it works very well. It covers with just one coat. I've never had to use more than one coat, so. And I am just gonna pull this excess off, and it's gonna make a mess. And I'm gonna have black fingers. Actually, I already had fingers turning brown from the stain. But now I have my wipe so I can wipe my fingers. And I don't want to get that on me again, so I'm going to get my little vacuum and just vacuum all of this up. And just leave it up there for right now, in case I need it again. So I know I don't need a ton of paint. This is not a big area. So I am just going to put some paint on my brush and paint the guitar. I actually have a guitar out in the hallway I could show you guys. This one would be an acoustic guitar if it was an actual guitar, which is what I had when I was a kid. And the one I have in the hallway is an Epiphone, but I need to restring it because it's strung to be a left-handed guitar, which apparently my sister thinks that's how you play guitar. She had the guitar, Emmy had it out, and she picked it up one day, and she put it in her lap, and she was playing with it. And I'm like, I didn't know you were left-handed. And she looked at me like I was crazy. I was like, that's how you play. That's not how you play the guitar if you're right-handed. She had it on her lap upside down. I was like, the thicker threads, the thicker threads or strings are the like the bass notes, and they go on the top. And she had it the opposite way, where the higher notes were on the bottom. I'm like, that's not how it's supposed to go in your lap. I do know a few things from when I played that guitar. Do I remember how to play any of the notes? Heck no. But I do know which way the strings go and which way you're supposed to play it. And my sister was like, I don't even remember you playing the guitar ever. And I'm like, yeah, I played it for 2 years. Because it wasn't an in-school thing. I would have to stay after school for my guitar lessons. They were taught at school, but it wasn't a school program. It was like after school. My sister played the clarinet, which I think that's what Terry said she played. And my sister only played the clarinet for a few years too, so. I don't know what happened to my sister's clarinet, because I think my parents bought both of our instruments for us when we decided we were doing that. Like, but there's a picture of me playing my guitar at a Christmas concert at our school. So there's proof that I played the guitar. The second year that I was in it, I was supposed to do that. My grandma was watching me, and I was like, yeah, I don't want to go do the concert. Can I just stay home? And she was like, are you sure that's what you want to do? And I was like, yeah, my mom and dad aren't here. I don't want to go. I don't want to go back to school. So I need to fix this part, and I'm trying to decide if I want to do it with the black. Or if I want to get some more of the stain out with like a smaller paintbrush to fix that. I used to play with my sister's clarinet. I used to change out the reeds on her instrument and play with it. I think I am just going to get a small paintbrush and do stain. Because it just needs a little bit right at the edge here. I am going to wipe it down. I'm not going to leave it the way it is, because I want it to blend in with the rest of this stuff. I don't want it to be thick. And I'm going to do the same thing at the other end, the base of the fret. And also, if I didn't play guitar, I wouldn't know what the heck any of these parts were called. But I thought about The Sound of Music when I was trying to come up with the name for the event. It's obviously The Sound of Music, but I wasn't like trying to tell everybody they had to do The Sound of Music musical for their crafts. So I left it up for interpretation. I might have to sand that part down, because I feel like it's a little too dark. I'm not getting out another baby wipe, so I'm just using my paper towel. And I'm going down because the stain is not going to mix well with the paint. I don't want the black paint coming up to the top part where the stain is. But I don't mind the stain going down to the black. Okay. So yeah, now I need to figure out what color I want to do those. If I want to do them white or if I want to do them silver. I left this out because I might need to do a second coat. But if a lot of this stuff is covered, and I'm not really sure how I feel about the coverage, so I might just sand it anyway. So I'm not going to do a second coat of the black. Let's see what colors I have. If I have my pewter over here, I could use that. I don't know if I have it. I know I have gold. Let's see. I might have it in a marker form, so we'll check the markers, which are on the ground by my legs. So these are the Posca ones. There is a gray, and there's the silver. Let's use the silver. They're from Posca. I think that'll be easy to paint with. These are new. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to use these, because these are the fine tip ones, and they're not really primed. I haven't used any of them. I just got them a couple months ago when Amazon did Prime Day. So I'm going to instead, I think I'm going to use my silver from this. These are just acrylic paint markers, and I love them. You don't have to prime them. They're already ready to color, and they come with two ends. One end has a brush stroke, and one of them is I'm just going to say what it is. It's a rounded tip. That's what that is. So I'm just going to use this for this piece, which is the tuner pieces. And I'm not sure if I'm going to paint down the edges on any of this stuff. So for right now, I'm just going to do this. And I think I am going to go right up to the edge of the board. paint over where I got some of the stain on. And these were from Amazon, for anybody wondering. Turn this around so I can get to this side easily, or easier, so that it's closer to me. I know y'all can't see what I'm doing because I'm off camera, but I'm literally just doing the same thing I did to those other ones, just on the opposite side. And I need to decide if I want to make the fretboard look like a fretboard, or I just want to leave it alone. I'm not sure. Right now, I am just going to take my heat tool and make sure this black paint is dry, because I do want to sand it a little bit. Make sure this is dry up at the top. I almost thought about making this like look like a real guitar. I have some guitar strings that I bought to replace the ones from my guitar, but they're not the right kind. And I was like, oh, I could use it on here, but I decided not to. My heat tool right there. Let's see, which one is this? This is the, I think that's the higher grit. I don't want that one. I'm just going to use this one. So I am just taking my little gator sander and sanding some of the black back. So I'm not sanding a ton back, just some. And like I said, now I need to figure out if I really want to make it look like a fretboard or what I want to do with it, because right now it looks weird. So I might try to think of what I have that I could use to make the different frets, because for anybody that's never played a guitar, a fret has like, a fret is a section where you would put your finger, and it has all of the strings, and it's separated by like a little bitty raised piece of, I don't know, wood. I don't know what's raised, but it's a raised piece of something that separates the different ones. So I'm trying to think of what I have, like dowel wise, that I could use to kind of, you know, do that. I'm looking at my cabinet because my cabinet is across from where I'm sitting, and it's got all of my stuff in it, like my clothespins, dowel rods, Jenga blocks, you name it, it's in there. So I'm trying to see what thicknesses I have. Chopsticks. I think chopsticks might be too wide. I think the clothespins are too wide too. And I'm trying to think of what else I have that I could put. I could probably do like some kind of ribbon. Ooh, I could use like leather. Ooh, that might work. Let me get up and grab this. I might use that. It's hard to get where I need to go over here because of the stupid insulation people. Foot is stuck. Oh. So we're gonna improvise. So I got this a while back because I couldn't find what I was looking for, and I never returned it. It is leather. It's brown leather, stripped from Hobby Lobby. I got it in the leather section. And I am going to Google to see how many frets there are on a guitar on my iPad really quickly, because my iPad is over here. But how cool would that look? To like... So on a... Hey Liz, on a fret you would have something separating them. And I need something that can be wider because it's wider down here than it is up here. So I am going to look up a guitar board. I'm going to ask how many frets are on a guitar board so we can figure that out. How many frets? No, that's not what I was trying to spell. Or on an acoustic guitar. So I'm doing an acoustic guitar. This was from Hobby Lobby. I painted the neck part with black paint, and I'm going to make it kind of look like a fretboard. An acoustic guitar can have anywhere from 18 to 22 frets. Okay then. A classical has about 18. So I'm going to measure this to see how wide it is. It's not 18 inches, I can tell you that. It is about 9¼ inches. So if I were going to make enough frets with what it says on there, I would have to put one every 1/2 inch. And I think that would look weird. I think our guitar is just going to have like less frets. Because I feel like it's wrong when I do that. I feel like they need to be like 1 inch apart. This one says 12 to 14. But I still don't, I can only get 10 with this. Or about 10. So we're just going to start. I'm going to do one at the top and one at the bottom, and we're going to work our way in with my ruler, that thing, you know. So I'm going to put a piece here at the edge. So let me measure and see how big. Well, I'm just going to get my smaller one because I don't really need a big one to measure this part. Let's see this. This is 2½ inches at the base of the fret. So 2½ inches. I'm going to get my thicker scissors that I like to use. These pruning shears that I got from At Home. They sell those at Michael's as well. I just got mine at Home because I was there. So, marking where I need to cut it with my fingernail. And then I'm using these scissors to cut it. And it would probably be good if I don't know which glue I want to use. Do I want to use tacky glue, beacon glue, or hot glue? I'm leery about the hot glue ever since I burned myself with the Ryobi glue tool at the retreat I was at last weekend. Plus, it might make it stick up too much, so we're not going to use that. Let's use either tacky glue or probably just use Beacon 3-in-1 because, you know, I feel like that works the best, and this is leather. So I'm just going to run a bead on the bottom side of the leather. Like I said, this is from Hoblobs in the leather section. And I am just going to run this across the bottom and get glue everywhere, because isn't that what everybody does when they're crafting? They get glue everywhere. Or it doesn't need to be. It's not straight, I can guarantee it right now. It needs to go down a tiny bit on this end. There. Okay. So if you missed any of the crafters, we started early today. We started at 11 Eastern. That's not a normal time that I usually put in my events, but apparently I made a mistake and did that. My bad. I'm kidding. It doesn't bother me. Where did I put? Oh. I've got to stop with the putting things where I'm losing things. So up at the top, it's 2 inches. Cut a 2-inch piece. And this is what Terry was talking about with the glue, how it seeps out of the top. It's because it's exposed to air. I learned that from Tamara from Crafty Fox Creations. She told us about that. I think somebody else on another live told her about that. So that's why it does that. Air gets to it. You're supposed to technically close it every time you use it. Most of us don't remember to do that. Ergo, why it's leaking. And it's hard to get it to smooth out after it starts leaking. So, yeah. That's why I've stopped using it as much. I usually only use it for my journals. And for my journals, I usually only use it for the cover when I'm putting the cover together. So I know y'all can't see, but let me see if I can tilt this a little bit this way. So you can kind of see where my hand is at the top of the frit. I feel like this glue works the best for this. So let's see how many we can do in between. I don't want them to be too close together. So we've got about 10 inches in between. So I could do every inch. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 inches. So 9 of these, but I'd have to space them out evenly. And I just got glue all over my hand because it's on this paper towel, and I just stuck my hand right into it. And we're not rushing because I have until 6 o'clock, and it's 4:30 right now. And this is getting ridiculous with this glue. Do I love this glue? Yes. Do I hate this glue? Yes. Did I just stick my hand in that glue? Yes. Okay. I'm gonna try and see if I can mark this just using a pencil. That way I know where the spacing is so that I can get the mini ruler and measure the width. So let's just put this like this. You're not gonna see the marking after I put that on anyway, so I just need a marking to show me where I need to measure the width. And I'm just using a pencil. I just used a pencil. That's the easiest thing to use. So I do know that between here and here, this goes from 2 inches to, what did I say this was? 2.5 inches? Yep. So that's the reason that I'm doing this, because I want to make sure I don't cut it too short. So this one is about 2 inches also. I'm going to try and cut all of them and then glue them so the glue does not keep leaking out of the top. I also have some that I put in this bottle. This is also beacon glue. And you can thin it out if it starts getting really thick with some acetone, nail polish remover. So I've done that a couple times with this one. But I might use this. I cleaned out my container. It had glue all over the base because it leaked. And that's an icing bottle, by the way, for anybody that's wondering. It's from Hobby Lobby. So 2-inch one. And I'm just sticking my non-existent nail into the leather to try and mark this, which apparently I did not do a good enough job. Oh, I did. I don't really have nails. That's why I say non-existent. Hey, Miss Deb. Let's see. So that's the next one. So I'm going to move my ruler down to this next one that I have here. And this one is a little more than 2 inches. So it's almost 2 and an eighth. That's what I'm going to cut it at, 2 and 1/8. Again, this is leather from the leather section over at Hobby Lobby. I got it for a craft and I never used it. It was when I did my saloon. I had a birdhouse that is saloon themed, and I was in an event that was birdhouses, and I was like, oh, I can do the saloon one. It's hard working with this because it keeps curving, and I need it to stay at the edge of the ruler. Make sure it didn't cut it too short. I don't think it did, but I'm gonna double check. If anything, I think I might have cut it a little too long, but we're gonna not do that. Thanks, Terry. I thought it's an improvising thing because honestly, like I said, I had no clue how to do or what I was gonna do with that. I just knew I wanted to use the guitar, and like I said, I think I'm gonna do the stencil down here. So now we're on the third one, and the third one is basically the same size. So your girl is just going to take this and put it next to it and cut another strip instead of trying to use the ruler. So now those two. So now we're on to the fourth one. So 1, 2, 3, this is 4. And 4 is almost, it's 1, it's 2 3/16. So it just gets a little bit wider as you go down the fretboard. Be nice if the ruler was facing the correct way. So this is the edge. 1, 2, 3/16. If anybody missed it last night, I came live to do a haul live with all my stuff that I got in Florida last weekend because it took me all week to get all of the stuff upstairs. So it was a very long live. I know Terry caught part of it because she said all my stuff looked cool. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I am now on the 5th one. And the 5th one is 2 1/4. So again, just line it up next to your ruler at the edge and mark it down. So it only went up like a 1/16 of an inch for the next spread. Ooh, that was weird. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, I count because I do not trust myself to measure the right one. I need to tell myself, hey, you need to look at that. So this one is about 5/16. 2 5/16. I think this was a pretty good deal too, because this is it was $5.50 and it's 50 feet of this. I mean, don't get me wrong, I probably could have gotten some from Amazon, but I thought I needed it the day of, and I ended up finding what I was looking for, so I didn't really end up needing it. So again, I'm on for 2 hours, so I will not be going off at the hour. I will be staying. So I've got 6, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And if I'm measuring this right, this should be, yep, it's 2 1, 2, 3/8. Two and 3/8. 1, 2, 3/8. I'm measuring again because I can't see the line. I don't trust myself. And up after me at 6 o'clock Eastern is Lillie with Lil's Crafting Things. 1, 2, 3. I don't have a fingernail right now. Okay, I marked it better this time. It doesn't bother me. I mean, I tried to get somebody to fill one of the spots and it didn't happen, so it is what it is. At least it's not somebody that didn't show up. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is number 8. And number 8 is the same size as the one before, so it didn't move very much. So I'm going to say this right now, we still have a lot of openings next week in our event. So if any of you are crafters and you're on here and you want to be in events, next week is an outdoor theme. That's literally all it is. Our theme is just called Take a Hike because I couldn't come up with anything better for the theme. So that's why it is what it is. I am flipping this around because I don't want it in all the glue right there. So this one is actually almost 2 1/2. It's 2 and it's 1 less than that. So this is the last piece that we need to cut. So 2 and whatever this is. It's like a 1/16 of an inch less than the bottom one. Okay. So everything is cut now. Just put my leather back around here. And it goes in these, it's kind of like a bobbin. So it has these openings for the pieces, I guess. I don't know how well it's going to stay, but I'm sticking this one in through that bottom one. And I'm going to put it aside and hope it stays in there. It looks like it probably will. So I don't need that out anymore because I have my little markings on here. Oh, that's so sweet, Miss Terry. So I know this is the last one that I did because it was on this side. So we're going to see how this glue works. It's literally the same glue. It's Beacon 3-in-1. It's just in a little different of a bottle. Because I like the tip on this one a little bit more. And I was trying to downsize a couple of bottles of things, and I like the size of this one. I do not recommend this for people that have arthritis in their hands that can't like squeeze bottles, because it takes a little bit extra pressure to get the glue to come out of this bottle. But I do like this because I can stick it upside down like that. I'm just lining this up with that line. And I'm just going to work from the bottom up, since that's how I have the pieces laid out in order. I mean, it is a good squeeze. I do like the bottle, but like I said, if you have issues with arthritis, this is not the bottle for you. It does take effort to squeeze this stuff out. But it also gives you a finer line than the bottle that the Beacon 3-in-1 comes in. Trying to keep these as straight as possible, but since it keeps curving like this bottom one did, we all know it's not going to look straight. It's not going to be as straight as it could be, but it's as good as it is for me. So I'm glad I thought of that, because I'm like, what am I going to put on the brown? Like I said, it's usually like a piece of, I don't think it's wood. I think it's some kind of like plastic that they put for the frets, because it's not, it's not wood. But I think this was a cool compromise, or a cool idea to, you know. To use in place of it, because I wanted something risen, but not, and a dowel rod would not have worked since it's round. It needs a flat bottom. Yeah, if anybody is on here is interested in being in events, I totally have an event group, obviously, because we are in Crafty Friends Unite today with the Sound of Music event. So I have a poll group where people sign up for my polls for my events. And I am going to probably, I know I said I was going to post the events for next month yesterday, but y'all, I forgot I was in that event yesterday until I woke up at 12:30 yesterday afternoon and saw the message from Shannon from Sugar Snob Designs, and I was like, oh shoot, it was on my calendar too. Terry and I were in that event yesterday together. She was working on a cool church. Did you finish that last night? Did I see it? Did you post a picture of it yet? Because I know it wasn't completely finished on the live. Miss Terry is the queen of essential stencil. She does a lot of those stencils, and I love them. I don't do a lot of them, but I do love them. I think they're very pretty stencils. And the one she was using today, that was the music notes, was beyond awesome. But I know she said that that one was what is their club called? I know it's with Essential Stencil. They have like a club thing. Like all places seem to have one nowadays. Is it like Stencil of the Month or something? Because it was very pretty. And the paint that you used with it was pretty. I like that Admiral Blue. This is turning out really cool, you guys. See, sometimes I come out with cool crafts that have nothing to do with paper. I know I do a lot of paper crafting, but this guitar was the part of the reason that this theme came about. And I say part because I wanted to do a musical one, but then I saw this at Hobby Lobby and I was like, okay, now I have the perfect item to use for the guitar, for the music. And if you saw yesterday, if you saw in my live, I was showing some stuff I got from a thrift store. One of the things I actually got from the thrift store was a John Denver music book. It had all the music for all of his songs, really, or all the ones I know. And then I got another one that was Broadway, and I was going to look through it to see if it had any songs from The Sound of Music in it, but I don't know where I put it. Which is sad, because, you know, I just took it out of my bag yesterday. I'm pretty sure I put it back in one of my bags, so it's just not it's not taken out in this room yet. Got one more fret to do. And I am loving this. So I can't wait to see what everybody else does in the event, because like I said, I don't tell people what to do with the theme. I just come up with them. Or in some cases, people that are in my event group come up with themes. Had Mary Lou has come up with a bunch of themes this year. Valerie from Valerie's Crafty Ventures. Mary Lou with Mary Lou is Loving Your Home Space. Miss Tanya from Simply Monarch. So this is what it's looking like so far. And where did I put this? Put them over here. So I do think I'm going to do this at the bottom. So this is a truck, and it has these rails that you can put on it. So I'm going to do the truck and then the rails. And then it has this that says Country Roads Take Me Home. What color are y'all thinking we should do this? Should we just do the whole thing in one color like black? Or should we do it in a color like red and do the tires in black? Or should we do it and make it shiny? We could do the whole thing in like a silver or a pewter or something. Or copper. I have copper. While y'all are thinking about it, I am going to put the rails on, but you have to do the truck first. I'm going to go grab a couple of those paste options to actually show you what they're going to look like. So y'all think about what color would look good. I'm going to go grab some of them. I'm still here. I'm just grabbing my pastes. All over if I have to. I did go through and organize my stuff, so. One more to grab, and then I'm coming back over here. Okay. I'm coming back, you guys. I grabbed 6 different colors of chalk paste. For anybody that doesn't know, these are mesh stencils. They're all mesh stencils that you can use over and over again as long as you keep up with them. And they are sticky on the backside. So Terry used a stencil earlier that's made out of plastic, but you'll probably notice she had tape on it to cover off the part she doesn't want. But for those, a lot of times you have to tape them down so they're not moving. These have sticky adhesive on the back. Terry says copper. So this is copper. This is my copper one. I also grabbed glittering black and regular black. So you can see that there's a difference in color. The glittering black is a little lighter, a little more grayish color. I did pick up silver, and this one's called Shimmer Frost. And I did go with Old Standby red. So Terry says we should do it all in copper. And I am shrinking down on this chair. I'm going to have to fix this chair. It keeps moving down. I'll get off of it and I'll pop it up and then I'll do it again. And a few minutes later, I'll be down 4 inches. So I don't think I need this glue anymore. So I'm going to flip it back over the way it is. I need to get another one of these stands. I have one of these. It came with this glue, and it fits in there perfectly. But I'd like to get another one to stick this in. They're from Amazon, so it's not like, oh, you have to buy them from someplace special. I need to put my marker back where it goes. Well, shiny copper would make it easy because then I only need to use one color, which I'm totally cool with. So I guess copper it is. I'll just grab one of my squeegees. I'm gonna grab one of my, these are one of my bigger ones that I got from Amazon. So when you're working with mesh stencils, you need to fuzz them before you put them on your surface, especially if you were working with paint, if you had painted your surface. Not so much the stain. I might want to sand this a little bit though, just to make sure it's smooth. You can also wax it. I don't like wax, but I just kind of sanded it a little bit. So I'm going to do Country Roads Take Me Home underneath the opening. And I like writing names on the back of my stencils, so I'm grabbing a Sharpie. So this is all in one stencil, so it has a name, but I am just writing the names of the different parts. Farm truck. And this one is, I'm not sure which direction this is supposed to go. I'm going to look this up. I'm going to see if this is still available. This is from Magnolia, by the way. I don't even know if I mentioned that. See if I can find it on their website or figure out what it's supposed to look like. Let's see, Magnolia. Because I'm not sure which direction the rails go. I want to say they go like this, but they kind of look like they should go like this. So I don't really know. So I am going to see if I can find it on here. It's an older stencil, so I might not be able to find it. But I'm definitely doing the truck regardless of whether I can figure out how the rail's supposed to go on there. Luckily, they have a search engine. It might not be on there, but they have a search engine. So they have the truck, but they don't have the stencil. They have the add-ons for the truck, but they don't have the stencil. Let's see. I'm just going to, at this point, Google it. See if I can find an image. Magnolia. Farm truck stance. I didn't even spell that right. It's a good thing Google translates things. No, that's not it. Images. Let's see what they have in images. They might have an image of it somewhere. I know that people have done this, so I know there should be an image of it somewhere. But all the ones that I keep seeing are different ones. There's a small one. That's not it either. That's the small one. Okay. I have no clue how the rails go on here. But I don't know. I don't know if they go this way or they go the other way. I guess it doesn't really matter 100%. I just don't know if the little pieces are supposed to be attached to this or they're supposed to be up in the air. I feel like they're supposed to be up in the air. And yes, I am over here talking to myself because I honestly have no clue what this is supposed to look like. I am going to wait and do that last. So I'm going to go ahead and fuzz this part. And for fuzzing, you use the green part of the tacky towel from Magnolia. The other side is for cleaning. It dries your stencil after you've washed it, if you don't want to leave it out. So we're going to put this one on first, and we'll put this one on. But we'll do all of the pasting of it, and I'll just do this at another time. I'm not going to seal this today, so I don't have to worry about that. But you do want to get tacky stuff on the back of it, like I said, so it doesn't pull up paint, especially. So it's not stuck down until you press it down. So I'm trying to get it a little bit even. It's not going to be very even, though, if I'm doing it this way. I'm going to turn it so I can see it better. Actually, I'm going to stand it straight up. Lean it against my overhead mount. Let's see how I can get the tires. The tires are not even. One of the wheels are in the front, are closer than the wheels in the back. So it's not going to be even from the edge of the board. I think this is going to be good. I'm using my my squeegee to make sure my stencil is down, and I can see I bubbled it right now when I just did that. So all you have to do is lift it back up and then press it down again. You want to make sure it's pressed all the way down, because when you go to put your paste on it, you don't want it going up under where the green is, because then it'll bleed and your image won't look crisp. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing with the Country Roads Take Me Home. You don't have to do the hearts if you don't want to. I probably won't do the hearts. I really just want the words. So I probably will not do the little hearts. Like I said, they have another stencil that says Country Roads, but it's with like a Jeep, and it's very big, and it would take up this whole area, and I didn't want the Jeep. I would have just wanted the words. So for this one, I'm going to put this up here underneath this. I'm kind of eyeballing it to see if it fits between the two sides. Couldn't think of what those things were called. So I'm going to get out my ruler for this one. I just want to make sure it doesn't have to be perfect. None of this stuff is perfect, but I would like for it to be as close as I could get to the middle. So this is a zeroing ruler. For anybody that doesn't know, it has the numbers for the actual inches on the top and bottom, but this middle line you can see here, or maybe, yeah, now you can see it, has a 0. And this is the dead center of the ruler. And so when you go out, it should have equal amounts from each side of it. So it should have 1, 2, 3, 4 inches over here, 1, 2, 3, 4 inches over here. So apparently I got it dead center, you guys, because it's almost exactly where it should be. I just need to move it over a tiny, 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 tiny bit towards me. And when I say tiny bit, I really mean tiny, tiny bit. Like that much. And I am going to take this, and I'm going to do this. Both of my little rulers are the same. That one's like that, and I have this one, and it does the same thing. It's got the 3 lines, and the middle one, it's a ruler. And I also have a 12-inch one that's somewhere. I think it's somewhere on my side table that I don't know. I can't see right now. So yeah, I'm going to do the truck and the words, and then I'll figure out the rails later, because like I said, I don't know. I don't know where they go. And then I might do something up here with like music notes, because I do have mini stencils that I got from Amazon that are music notes. Or I might do that on something else as my second craft, because it's only 4 o'clock my time. So I've only been on for an hour. And there's not a whole lot more I can do to this guitar, so I'm being careful right here, because I don't want to put the paste on those little hearts, because I don't want that on here. I just want my words. I could have used one of my paintbrushes, because that might have been a little bit easier. but it's not that difficult to use the big squeegee for both things. And you want to make sure you kind of only go in one direction, because if you go like this and like this, you have more of a chance of getting the paste to go up under the stencil where you do not want it. Also, when you saw me doing this just now, I was smoothing this because sometimes you'll have lines from where you put the paste on when you go to pick it up. My friend Marie pointed that out from Copeland's Creations. I wish she would start doing lives again. She was doing lives whenever I first started the group, and her life got busy and she couldn't do them, and I understand that, but I miss my friend and I want her to come back. Okay, we're gonna need more for the truck, so I'm just grabbing a honking scoop out of that. So you can go down and up, but don't go down, up, and sideways. If you're going up and down, just stay with up and down. If you're going sideways, stay with sideways. So right now I'm just trying to get as much paste as I can on the spots, and then I'm going to come back and smooth everything out, like I said, so it doesn't have those. That looks like there's a bubble right there, and that's going to make me mad if it has ink paste bleed underneath it. It feels like there's a bubble right there, and I don't know why. It shouldn't. So the good thing about pastes and inks, you can save your excess that you wipe off. Normally I would come in with the back of it. This gets the most of the ink off. But sometimes I feel like using the curved side of the squeegee makes the lines that you're trying to not have smooth out easier. And I can see over here that I don't think I got enough paste. And I am not one of those people who likes to pull it up and see. So I tend to just pull it all up. I don't have water in here either. Big shocker, I know. Well, that you really can't see that well. And I did leave it on there too long, I think. This one, I did the same thing. I left it on there too long. It looks rustic. I might try to come back and redo this. I'm going to clean my stencils really quickly. I'm going to use my mat to clean them, but I'm also going to get a baby wipe and try to wipe this off. These are my baby wipes that I don't really use for a ton of stuff. They're cheap baby wipes and I don't really like them. And since this was just a stain, that is coming off very easily. I'm trying to decide if I want to redo the truck. I think I do. I've never done this before, you guys. I've never stained something and then wiped it off with a baby wipe and then started over. Usually it would involve painting over this and doing all kinds of stuff. But since the paste is still so wet on here, it's coming off. Am I going to have to put some stain over this again? Probably. Does that bother me? No. Because if I had done this with paint, I would have had to paint over it anyway. So it's just a different step. I'm going to have to stain it again. And make it a little bit darker. But the bright side is I did this in fretboard in black. So if I need to get something darker at the top, I can. I don't have to worry about the fretboard because it's not the same stuff. Okay. Don't use baby wipes on these stencils. It messes with the adhesion on the back of it. So I'm going to take this off my desk for now. And I am going to clean the stencils. You just use water. Yeah, this is the right one. Like, is that the right one? I'm just sticking them down on my table and spraying them with water. I am going to close my paste so it doesn't get dried up because I do have my fan on. And just stick that on top of that. That can be wiped off with a disinfectant wipe, which is what I probably will use to clean this thing after I do a good swipe with a, if I can find my eraser. I have a thing that is a stencil cleaner. Sometimes the piece falls into my cart and I can't find it. You know what? I can't find it, but I'm going to go grab a new one. I don't really care. They're not overly expensive, and I have a ton of them. Grab the lunch. I cut my stencil cleaner up too, so I will show you guys. I need to cut it up and put the extra pieces in a drawer. So this is the stencil cleaner. It looks like a Mistress Clean sponge. It's not. It has the bumps on the side to help clean. And I always cut this thing in a 4. It's such a big sponge. So I'll cut it in half. I need to go put this half back in that drawer where I got this from. And then I'll cut this in half. And this cleans everything off just as much as anything else. You don't need the full thing. And it lasts a while. And I have one of these in my bathroom that I had just thrown away, a piece like this that it got down to be like 1/4 of an inch thick. So basically I'm just getting all of the, if you get water on your stencil as soon as you can, it makes it a lot easier to be able to clean it off, whether it's ink or paste that you used. I'm just using a paper towel to wipe off the water. Yes, there is still ink underneath it. I will pull the stencil up and wipe the table off, and then I will clean the stencil again with a disinfectant wipe. So just take it up from here. You can see the outline of the image. And you can see that the stencil is mostly clean. But because I used that shimmer paste, that sometimes stays on there longer. So I like to come back in and clean it again with a disinfectant wipe. And I just have the Walmart ones. Generic works just as well. And you can see that I had more that I needed to take off. So, and you can also use the inside of the tacky towel to clean this. And you can wipe the back of the stencil with this. It's not going to damage it. It's not going to take away any of the stickiness or anything. So I'm just going to stick this on the inside of my towel, because that part helps dry it. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this one. And then you can put it back on your backing sheet. And I have it upside down. And it has its sticky back, just so you'll know. It's sticky again. So put that aside. Finish cleaning this one. Put it on the inside of this. Dry it. Put it back on the backing sheet. Get my guitar back up here so that I can restain part of it that I messed up. See, this one had a lot more ink. I want to say ink. It's not ink. A lot more paste on it. So that's why it's taking longer to clean. Yeah, you can run this along the back. Sometimes I have to do this. I don't have to do it today, but a lot, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of times I pull up paint because I don't have it sealed well enough on my surface. And so things that look distressed were not intentionally distressed. They were unintentionally distressed because it pulled the paint up and it wasn't supposed to. It did it because A, I either left the stencil on too long, B, I didn't smooth it enough, or C, the stencil was just really sticky and I didn't fuzz it enough. Any of those things can be that. I know a lot of people use wax. My wax from Chalk Couture dried up, and I don't like the wax from Magnolia. It is very I'm just going to say this. One time I was doing a mason jar sign and I waxed it and I let it dry all day because I had tried it before and it didn't work. And somebody said, you have to wax it, buff it, and leave it sit out all day. Did that. The stencil just went and slid right off of it. It slid right off of my surface. So this one doesn't feel as sticky at the moment, but it is, I promise. So let's just wipe this table down. I painted something the other day and didn't get all the paint off of this, so might as well clean it off now while I have one of these out. And I'm just going to put my tacky towel beside. Let's see. I have another paper towel to wipe down my table. And grab my guitar so that we can fix the base. So you can't really tell that I mean, there's a little bit of it down here, but it's not like overly where you can tell. So we're just going to go for it again. I'm going to grab another paintbrush, just spread it out some, and then I'm going to grab a baby wipe, and I'm going to bring some of this darkness up top, and I'm going to do the same at the top part where the head of the guitar is, and I'll be able to, and if I need to fix the silver on here, if I get it on the silver part, I can do that too. I need to find, like, I got a container with wipes. Well, not a container, but a normal size thing of wipes, because this is baby wipe, like the travel size. Yes, my table is squeaking. Yes, it annoys me. Do I wish it didn't do it? Yeah. But somebody, Jamie from Road 12 Creations, told me to get WD-40, but did I listen? No. I don't even know where I need to spray it, so. Let's turn this out. Use the other side of the wipe. I don't want to wipe it all off. And then I'm just coming to the top to make this a little darker up here. I know y'all can't see this part because the camera's not wide enough angle for this, but all I'm doing is rubbing in some of that stain up at the top. So this is going to be washed brushes. We're going to set this aside and let this stain finish drying. Oh, I got stain on my fretboard. That sucks. I might have to come in with the black paint and fix this. Normally I would not do this, but I'm just putting a little bit of black paint on my finger to go cover what I just had to wipe off. Because it was not a ton, but I could clearly notice it. So, yeah, there's that. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna see. I'm trying to think of where. I'm gonna see if my stencils that I'm talking about, if I put them where they need to be. Because I have my folders. I'm gonna set this aside to let the stain finish drying. And like I said, I did buy the stencil with the music notes from Amazon. So this is my folder with miscellaneous stuff from Amazon and a maker studio. I don't know what section it would be in, so we're just going to go through and look at. I do have some stencils that are, I guess, pirated. I don't know what the word is, but this is a Magnolia stencil that some person did and blew it up into a bigger size, which they shouldn't have done. But I did not know better back then. I don't know what goes in this one because these are not labeled. Ones. This is what I was talking about. These are my music notes. And I'm going to check to make sure that they don't have another one. Because sometimes I'll cut them up and put them in a cut apart thing, because they are cut aparts. But this piece is so big, I wasn't sure if I did or not. So I'm going to check my folder. It shouldn't be in here because this is all Magnolia and Chalk Couture. And I don't think I have anything that's miscellaneous in here. Nope. Nope. I do have another place I can look that it might be. Because I don't want to cut this one up. Because I think I did cut up another one. Let's see if I can get this out. I have these cool display books that are for their portfolio for an artist, but there's a chance it might be in here. But there's also a chance it might not be in here. I put my bigger cut aparts in here that were taller because this thing is 9 by 12. So like ones that were 12 by 18 that I could cut up, they fit in here better. Well, I don't see it in there, so I don't know if it didn't have a second one. It might not. So I'm going to cut this up and we're going to use this. I might put this on the top part of that guitar over the opening thing. The hole. I mean, we still got 43 minutes, you guys. So we're not wasting time. We've still got a lot of it. And I see paste. Nope, that's not. That's stain. At least I got it off. Okay. These are Magnolia scissors. I have this one, and this is I only use them to cut stencils. Whether it's Magnolia, Chalk Couture, generic ones, Maker Studio ones. I only use these scissors to cut stencils. I do not cut anything else with them. It's kind of like people that have sewing scissors. I have those too. But these, I have stuff that's for just cutting paper. And then I have these that are just for cutting stencils. And so I'm just going to cut all these up. Like I said, these were from Amazon. Hey, Miss Becky. Well, right now I'm cutting up these stencils. We were working on a guitar. And it is on the floor. The stain is setting. I already messed it up and cleaned it off. We did a stencil on it, and I left the stencil on too long. And the paste got all messed up. And I'm thinking that color might not have looked as good as it should. So I'm thinking we might use black instead when I redo it. But we'll just have to wait and see. Because I don't think it was as crisp as it could have been. I don't think the copper showed it as well as it should have. So and I'm thinking about putting this up at the top somehow. So I am going to clean off that squeegee. And all I'm using for cleaning off the squeegee is another disinfectant one. But I don't think I want to redo it in copper because I don't think it stood out enough. That's another reason I erased the whole thing that was on it and restained it. Because I don't think it looked that good. You couldn't really see it. And I should have known, based on it being on a brown background, that it wasn't going to show enough. But I did it anyway. So I'm just wiping all the paste off the top of the jar. So I think we're going to go with just regular black. So this is just glittering. This is coal black from Magnolia. And I might need to not use this. I might need to go find my black velvet from Chalk Couture because this looks like caviar. And it's not supposed to look like caviar. This is not what paste is supposed to look like. It's supposed to be cohesive, not chunky like this, but I've had this paste for a long time. I don't stencil that much. In case y'all didn't know that. I'm going to go see if I have black velvet from Chalk Couture because this is not going to work. This is going in the trash. and I need to get a new one. Unless I have the black velvet, in which case I'm not worried about it. So let me go see if I have that one. I can't remember if I had to throw that one away. But we'll find out in a second. Nope, I have it, guys. I have the black. Hopefully this one looks the way it's supposed to. This one is also old, but hey, Cindy. So let's see if this one looks better. See, this one looks a heck of a lot better. It's supposed to be creamy, like this. Not chunky like that one I just had to throw away. So we will use the Chalk Couture paste because that Magnolia one is in the trash now. It was beyond. Okay. Normally I don't just throw paper towels away, but when it comes to black stuff, I just assume get rid of it. Okay, this is take 2 with this guitar. Terry was here for take 1. So this is the guitar we were working with. It's from Hoblobs. We did stain on this, and let's see if I can tilt the camera some. Oh, I can. We did the stain on that and this fretboard up at the, not the fretboard, the tuning part. These are painted with some silver little tuning pieces, and we did the frets with some leather strips. So now we're going to try to do the stencil again. So this is our stencil. We were doing this truck down here, and we were doing country roads right here. And I was thinking of putting this kind of up here somehow. Even if it goes off, like I can still, I don't care if I can't do the hole, like if it goes through that. Maybe do it at an angle even. So I'm thinking that, but we're going to do one stencil at a time. It is from Hobby Lobby's Spring Collection. So we're going to do the words first. These are the shortest out of all of the pieces. I'm getting my tacky towel back out. I probably don't need to fuzz this too much because we just used it and cleaned it. But I do want to get some fuzz on it. I'm eyeballing it again. It looks about right. I am using this squeegee that I used before to make sure my stencil is down. I am not doing the little hearts, so I am avoiding them like the plague. And we're just doing our words. And I think you're going to be able to see this a lot better. And the black just goes with what I did with the fretboard, so. And if I finish this and I have some time at the end, I might go grab my guitar and show you guys the real guitar that I have. I have an electric guitar in the hallway. And I don't know how to play. But I got it because it's signed. I am just wiping excess off and trying to smooth out any lines that may have appeared. Okay, I've determined that it is not the stencil, it is the stain. So, I'm glad I did this first. Terry was on here when we cleaned the last one off. Look, Terry, we're doing it again. It's the stain it's not taking the paste. It's just not. It shouldn't do this. Just so y'all know, it shouldn't do that. So I might need to seal this with like a spray sealer, then put the words and stuff on, because it's going to keep doing that apparently. So I'm just going to put this aside. I'm going to clean the stencil again. Let's just spray it within an inch of its life. So now y'all know Aimee has problems just like everybody else with stencils. People say, those stencils never work for me. Well, guess what? Sometimes they don't work for me either. But there's a reason that they don't work. And I just showed you one of the reasons. It's because I used that gel stain. And I think the gel stain worked as kind of, I don't want to say it's a wax, but that's what I'm leaning towards as what it is like. And why it did not want to stay on, or because we did not have the stencil on long enough for it to be doing that. It was only on for a few seconds. I made sure it was all the way down. Y'all saw me press it down. It shouldn't have done that. Now I'm just taking my stencil cleaner thing, try and get the rest of the black off of here as best I can. It doesn't matter if you stain the stencil. You just don't want anything in the mesh part of it, because that's where your ink or your paste goes through. Or your scorch paste. I wonder if scorch paste would have worked. I've never tried to scorch paste something on top of a gel stain. I don't know what my scorch paste is, because I have the scorch paste from Magnolia, and it works well. So I am going to have to clean the back of this off because it looks funky to me. Again, don't use baby wipes on them. Use disinfectant wipes. Lysol, Clorox, generic, whatever you have. Just don't use a baby wipe. The Clorox wipes don't affect the stickiness. The stickiness will come back, but if you use a baby wipe on these, something interacts with the glue or the stickiness, and it don't work after that. I really need to clean my hands because that's what keeps getting on here. It's from my hands. Well, there you go. Lillie is the queen of knowing stuff from Magnolia in my little friend group that's on here. So yeah, the paste didn't work on top of the gel stain. We did two different colors. We did copper and we did black. It did not like either one of them. So now I have to seal it, I think, and then redo it. So yeah, we are gonna just put this in here to dry it off. Finish drying off my table. We're just gonna move on to something else, because that guitar is obviously not in the cards to be finished today. So you can see through it. That's what you need. It doesn't matter if the green part is stained a little. It's not going to affect the usage of said stencil. Okay. Let's see what we can do now. I'm trying to think of what I have out. Let's see. We could do like a tag or something with these smaller stencils that I have. These were all from Amazon. And I do have the sheet that I was going to put on the guitar. Well, I plan on putting it on the guitar, so I'm not bringing that over here. But these were all from Amazon. Maybe we'll put some on cards or something. Or, like I said, we could probably do like a tag or something and put them on my journals. Let's do that. We got 30 minutes left. You can either use ink or paste when you do these on paper, but you still have to fuzz them. Because if you don't fuzz them well enough, it will pull up your paper. Ask me how I know. Let's see. Let's do this one. I don't even know what to label these. This one kind of looks like a piano. Piano. This one has the word music. This one is a heart. This one is just one note. Is this a treble clef? I'm putting treble heart because it has a heart on there too. I don't even know if I spelled trouble right, because I don't know if it's an L-E or an E-L. Okay. Notes. And stars. That one has stars on it. Notes. And dots. And then this is swirly notes. Don't you love how I name things? So I think I want to do the swirly note thing down at the bottom, and I think I'm just going to use the black paste because it's sitting out still. So I'm fuzzing it on my tacky towel until I feel like it's not going to stick really well, because I don't want it to pull up my paper. I would show you guys my journal that I did with some stencils that I didn't fuzz enough, and it pulled up the chipboard that I used. It was thin chipboard, but it pulled up the chipboard, and my poor ducks look weird. Okay, I think that's enough. So I'm going to put this down on the bottom. I'm kind of lining it up with the edge at the bottom, but not the side. So just making sure it's all the way down. And then, I don't know. You know what? We'll just use it. It's there. So I have to say, I don't know if it's too wide for this, but I had to throw away my Magnolia Black because it was bad. It was from when I started with Magnolia, so it's really not surprising that I had to throw it away. But what is surprising is that this black velvet from Chalk Couture I bought before I joined Magnolia, but I don't think I opened it right away. I'm just getting excess paste off. The back of your squeegee gets the paste off better than the curved side. Anybody that is new to Magnolia. So I did leave it off the edge, and it's going to be easier for me to pull it off. Now, see, that looks good. That looks like how it's supposed to look when you do a stencil. And I'm just using my heat tool to dry it. Like I said, you could use ink or paste on paper. I usually use ink, but the paste is out. I'm not going to get the ink. So let's do some water on this and clean it. I'm putting this out of the way because I don't want to get it wet. And I'm just going to use my little stencil cleaner thing. Black is probably the worst to try and clean off of anything. Whether it's paint, paste, ink, it's just the worst to clean off of anything because it's such a deeply pigmented color. And I do use my tacky towel on the inside a ton to dry off my stencils. So that I can put them right back on their backing sheets. Swirly notes. And like I said, these were from Amazon. I don't remember which store it was from, but if anybody's interested, I know I can find the link. Put that aside. Let's see. Let's do another one. Let's do, where's the one that says music? It's probably, yeah, of course it's at the bottom. Let's do music up at this side. I'm trying to decide if I want to do this as a tag or just something I can put in a journal. I'm leaning towards that. Just using it as something I can put in a journal, not necessarily a tag, so I don't have to cut it all up. So again, I'm fuzzing it. I know y'all can't see it because my face is in the way, but I just have it on my tacky towel. And I'm doing it until I feel like it's not pulling as much. Like right now when I'm pulling it off, I don't know if y'all can hear that, but you can hear the stickiness. I don't want to hear that. I want it to be Or when I pull it off, it sounds a little bit, but not a lot. That feels better. So we are going to put this one up at the top on this side. And I'm going to line it up as best I can. I don't want it right at the edge of either piece, so I'm trying to decide if I want to do it in the same color with the black. I think I do. So again, I pushed it down with my finger and I'm just using the paste because that's what I have out. A lot of times I will use ink with paper. I just like it better for some reason. I will say though that ink has a tendency to stain the stencil more than paste does, especially with darker colors like blacks or dark blues or browns. But it really doesn't matter. It does it with all colors. So pull this off. And now we have this where it says music. So again, I'm just going to put this aside. We're going to clean the stencil. I love these little stencil cleaners. The one from Chalk Couture is called a board cleaner, I think. It's round. I didn't know it was this basically the same thing. I thought it was just like, I thought it was flat, to be honest, but it's not. It's like that thick. It's like about an inch thick. So it's not as thick as these, but it is thicker than what I thought it would be. Like I said, black is the worst to clean up. And yet that's the color I keep getting all over me because I keep using black. Because it's the one that's out. It's a good thing I have more of these wipes. Because I am going through a ton of them with this black. Like I said, you can wipe stuff on the back with this. Just don't do it with baby wipes on either side. See how much black just came off of that thing? And all I did was press down on it. Basically, I'm trying to clean off my eraser because it has so much black in it. And black is the worst. I'm going through so many napkins and paper towels and disinfectant wipes for this. This is why I don't stencil a ton. But Lillie from Lil's Crafts and Things is up after me, you guys. So at the hour, which is about 20-ish minutes from now, Miss Lillie will be on. So this is what I used to stain the surface, Lillie. And the stencil just did not like it. It just kept coming up. And it doesn't have a thick layer because I used a baby wipe to smooth it all out. So let's see what we should do with the rest of this. I kind of want to just leave this like it is, but I want to do something else. I don't know what though. This will also fit in a I think an A5 envelope. Because I think an A7 is a little bit on the big side. Let's see. I mean, it will fit in the A7, but it's it'll be small inside of an A7 envelope. But yeah, I now have discolored fingers. I'm trying to decide what should we do next. We're not going to finish the guitar. That's just not going to happen. Looking to see what's around here that we could do something with. I don't want to start a journal, but I could put this in one of my journals. I'm trying to think if I have something that I could decorate it with. Like little stickers or... I don't. I've got 20 minutes left. What should we do with the next 20 minutes of our lives? I'm trying to think. You know what? I'm going to find a surface real quick. I have the little narrow boards from the shelves from the Dollar Tree that this will fit on. I'm going to just go grab one of those. We'll paint it and put that one there. That should take up all that time. I thought that's what this was. I don't know. I grabbed two different things. Hopefully it'll fit on one of these. This is why it came in handy that I actually have something sort of organized. Sing, sing a song, sing out loud. I know it was so off key. So it would fit on this. It's not going to fit in this, so I'm not going to use this one. This is just one of those Christmas ones. I like this size, and I like that it didn't have glitter. I will go put that back. Let's see if we can paint this and put this on. It does have the little holes. You can use wood filler. Actually, I might use wood filler. Let me see where mine is. Just fill the holes in. I don't know what I do with this wood filler, but it always dries out on me. I put the lid back on. These are not very big holes, so this wood filler should not take long to set. That's the only reason I'm doing it. I mean, I make sure, it's not dried out like my other ones were that I threw away. I like that one because it changes colors. For anybody that doesn't know, that was a Carpenter song I was singing. It's called Sing. Sing a song. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. Or if you're into Coca-Cola, I'd like to share a Coke with. I don't remember how that one goes, but I do know it was on a Coke song before I was a Coca-Cola commercial before I was born. Words, guys, words. Okay, so I'm probably going to do black for this again. What color should we paint the background? I have a lot of my paints over here, so I probably have most of the colors of the rainbow. So y'all give me a color that we can paint this. This is almost dry down there. Most of my stuff I have over here is acrylic paint, but it's good acrylic paints. Green, blue, purple, orange. Anything jump out at anybody? I don't want to use a dark blue or anything like that because we are using black. I mean, I guess I could use shimmer if somebody wanted it to be a darker one. So I picked a darker color for the background. Because I pretty much have everything over here. I don't have orange, but I do have peach. I have black currant, gold, dark blues, teals, mints, saffron, brown, pale blue, meadow greens, light blues, peachy colors, grass green, glacier blue. Anything pop out at anybody? You can also paint with your paste. I don't really want to do that, so. Any of those colors pop out at anybody? Should we make the music notes shiny? I'm gonna grab a paintbrush. And I'm just gonna, no, that's not the sander I want. I'm just lightly sanding this end. I don't know what these were, because I have wood shelves over there, and they had the 4 holes because you're supposed to be able to hold up the shelf with like macrame cord. Glacier Blue it is. This is Glacier Blue from Folk Art. It is a chalk paint. Yes, I did just squirt it on the mat. But my mat is silicone, so it will come right off when I clean it later. I really need to get my I was about to say black. My glass mat from Fiskars that I got in here. It's bigger than the 13-inch one that I usually have on my desk. So I'm going to have to move things on my desk, which is why it hasn't come in here yet. Because I bought it like a year ago with a coupon from Michael's. I think from now on, I'm only going to get these small bottles of paint. My Waverly paints, unless they don't have them in the smaller ones, because my paints are always drying out, my big ones. And these don't seem to do that as much. Because you can seal them, and they're smaller, so I feel like I use them in a more timely manner or something. Obviously, I have not been doing a lot of painting in the last year or so. Okay, I'm just not doing that anymore. I feel like I'm just putting all of my paint on that, and it's just spreading on the silicone and not getting on my brush when I need it. I feel like this color would have looked good if I had used it as a kind of a stain. Like lightened up some. And to do that, you can just kind of mist your mist your paint a little bit, and it will spread it thinner. Okay, I did not get it good enough. I decided to do that also, except for maybe white or black. The shelf thing, the wood piece, is that what you're talking about, Lily? Because I somehow can't imagine that you have the same stencils as me. Unless you do buy from Amazon like I do, because I am a stencil whore. I have them from every place. I have them from Chalk Couture, I have them from Magnolia, I have them from obviously Amazon. Closing my paint. Putting it back in my little container that I keep on my desk now. This is gonna dry. Oh, the jars of paint. Yeah, because I do have some of the chalk paint from Folk Art and those bigger ones. But I got them on clearance at Michael's, most of them. If you've ever seen Mary Lou from Living Her Home Space, when she paints stuff now, she has the little bottles of the Waverly paints, and she just pokes a hole in the sealer thing on the top so she can use them as squeeze bottles, since Waverly doesn't make squeeze bottles. But some of the colors on Waverly are better than the Folk Art. They're different. Even though they're owned by the same parent company, they are not the same. They are different. So what color should we do the music notes, Lily? Should we keep it in black or should we use silver? And guys, if you see any of my crafty friends in here on their page names, which Lily should be on her page name, but she's not. She's Lil's Craft and Things, and she is up next. If you see anybody that you're not following, you should give them a follow. Most of my crafty friends are pretty crafty. They make some pretty cool stuff, so if you're not following them, you should. And if you're not in Crafty Friends Unite, what are you guys waiting for? It's a free group. It's my group. It's free. We have events every week, and I am actually, so I don't know how many of y'all follow Wendy from Dusty Granny's Crafts by Wendy, but she's she's pulling back on her events that she hosts. So she was one of the people that did journaling events. And I really enjoy the journaling events. And I know a lot of people do. So I'm thinking of adding one journal event a month, or maybe one every other month on a different day of the week than what we do. I'm probably going to post a poll about that in our poll group or our chat or both. Maybe, I don't know. But to see who's interested in it, because I want to keep going what Wendy was doing, because I know people like doing it. Otherwise, she wouldn't have kept doing the events. So be on the lookout for that if you're a journaler. And then it's not that you can't journal in my events, because you can do whatever you want. I could have journaled. Wendy journaled today. I just journaled so much recently that I was just like, you know what? I'm going to do a stencil. And I had that guitar that I wanted to do. So this is our surface. We're just going to make this a little sign. I can put a little hanger on the back of it when I'm done. But this is our strip of music notes, and it's going to fit perfectly on here. I hope. Yes. Probably should have done that to begin with, but I did not. Let's see. I don't even know why I'm putting this on here, because none of the other ones fit on this. Okay, I don't know what's going on with my messenger, but I keep hearing it go off. We've got 8 minutes. I think we can get this done in 8 minutes, you guys. What do you think? Do you think it'd take 8 minutes to stencil that with that paste? Again, even though this is not on paper like what I was doing before, I do want to get a decent amount of stuff on here. And by that, I'm fuzz, so that it doesn't pull up my paint, because I didn't wax it. I don't wax things. I don't like waxing them. I do not. Why is this not loading? I keep clicking on stuff. Okay, people are asking about next week's event in the group chat. I will respond after my live ends. Let's see this. Okay. I think that is good enough. I am going to finish my guitar. Like I said, I'm going to seal the stain and then try to do the stencil again. I probably will do the stencil with black. Not because I have it out right now, but just because I think black showed up better on the brown than the stain. And sometimes you have to go up and down. Sometimes you have to go from the top. Sometimes you might have to go from the bottom. It just depends on where you're stenciling and what you're stenciling. And I always have so much. I never get enough paste. So y'all always see me just digging in here for more paste. Also, my paste tends to go up the squeegee on the curved part. And once it gets to that part, you really can't get it to go on your stencil. That's why I'm always wiping it back in the jar, because it'll go up there and I can't get it to do anything. And if it gets on the back of the stencil, same thing. I mean, the back of the squeegee, not the stencil. If it gets on the back of it, you can't really use it from the back. Okay. Let's wipe some of the excess off with the front and wipe excess off. So if you come back in and you do it straight up and down with the back of it, you get a lot of paste off that you didn't even realize you had on there. I mean, that is a chunk of paste that I just pulled off of the back. But I am going back over it with this to try and make sure I don't have any of those lines I was talking about. And this is what a stencil should look like on a surface, unlike what it did with mine. So we still have a few minutes left. This is going to be a pain to clean up because it's black, of course. I cannot believe how many of these disinfectant wipes I have used today. I mean, I can't. I'm going to put this over here so I can spritz this with my water. This is just regular tap water. It's not my distilled water. I don't feel like I need distilled water to clean these stencils up. That's just me. Other people probably do. Normally you could just go run this under water and it will get the black off a lot better than what I'm doing right now. But I'm not in a bathroom, I'm not near a bathroom, and I don't want to wait. So I'm just using my disinfectant wipes. I mean, with this one, I probably will go back in the bathroom while Lily's live to clean it off some, because there's a lot of black. There's a lot of black. But this is what our sign looks like. I'm just going to stick this on the inside of my towel for right now. I'm going to go wash it off. Wipe this off so I don't get any black on me from this. But yeah, this is what our piece looks like. I'll probably put a panel on it, or I might just do like a Jenga block to make it be propped up. I might try and figure out how to put something on it to just have it to where it can lean. I might need to paint the edges, so I might come back and do that as well, because they're all plain. But you could also just do something on the back of it too. You can't even see the holes where I filled them in on the side, so yeah. So I'm gonna hop off. I know it's a couple minutes before the hour, but I'm gonna hop off, go clean my stencil, and share Lily into the group. And I will see y'all in Lily's comments. And I hope y'all stay tuned for the rest of the crafters, because we got crafters going all evening. Tomorrow is our last crafter at, I want to say she's on at 11. Is that right? I can never remember when the last crafter is, you guys. I'm pretty sure she's on at 11, though. I'm pretty sure she's only on at 11 Eastern, 10 Central. So I will see you guys over in Lily's comments. I'll be live again tomorrow, and I'll see you then. Bye, guys.